look who showed up for NFL playoffs.
I know, huh? Thank you.
JR.
After
Wow,
the
so much.
Actually,
I haven't been here. I've been sitting in another room while they do it. So
what's remarkable about this panel is the fact that week 14 there was importance. Week 15 there was importance in the NFL. Week 16 Derek Carr goes down. Week 17 there was importance, and they decide to show up for possibly the top 3 worst weekend in NFL history when it came to excitement of games.
Oh, playoffs? I think this might be the worst. Might be the worst weekend of playoffs. I mean, I haven't looked. I don't know, but it's hard to imagine, barring some tragic injuries, leaving that out.
Next week.
Just quality of games.
Next week could be that.
No, next week is a terrific slate of games.
It could be.
Well, yeah.
Oh, every week.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah,
It could be, but that's my point being is, I mean, look, everyone thought that the Giants and Packers game was going to salvage what's going to be that was a terrible game.
I got it, but nobody thinks a Giant game is going to automatically be great. The Giants are not a fun team to watch.
No, but the Falcons, I'll give the Falcons some credit. High-powered offense always tends to make for fun football
there's
games.
no question that the intrigue of, hey man, what just get some questions answered is interesting next week.
It's true.
Cowboys. What Seahawk team is it, right? Are we going to see the Seahawk team that really throttled the Lions, where the defense looked terrific? Is it Seahawk defenses of the last few years or the one we saw most of this season? And are they capable of slowing down Atlanta? And so, I think Atlanta probably wins that game. I'm an idiot. So,
yeah,
but that's a question that I'm intrigued by. And the Packers just, Aaron Rodgers looks like is playing at a level that you can't play better than. Like, that's it, whatever that level is. And so if your quarterback's playing at that level, and then you got guys like Devontae Adams, healthy Randall Cobb, and Devontae Adams showing up even without Jordy Nelson, you're like, well, of course they can beat Dallas, right? Of course, I'm not saying they will, but of course they can.
Dallas is going to have to get all of their communications wrong in their defensive backs. They're going to have to give up a Hail Mary with 10 seconds left in the half, watch a ball go to the very last corner of the end zone with 4 defensive backs watching it. I mean, yeah, I agree. Aaron Rodgers is playing like Aaron Rodgers again because whatever issues were happening before, now he's getting protection. He danced in that pocket on one particular play, a touchdown pass for 7 to 10 seconds.
8.5 seconds.
And he didn't even,
which, by the way, he
didn't even scramble. He just
steps
forward.
Dips and dunks. He actually had another play where it was an incomplete pass in the second quarter, but he held the ball for 10.5 seconds.
Yeah, it was right.
Yeah,
so Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers when he has that much time. Early in the season, I remember watching it, I was thinking, what's wrong? Whenever something is surprising from a team, whether it's doing well or subpar, I was looking, I said, I need to look at details as to why the Packers don't look good. And every time I looked up, Aaron Rodgers was on the ground. So he can't throw the ball when he's getting thrown around.
No, you're totally right.
No quarterback can throw the ball if they're always on the ground.
But JR's point, like Aaron Rodgers is playing at the elite level, whatever it is, level 1A, Aaron Rodgers is playing at. But obviously he's playing at that because the offensive line is playing at its top level.
They didn't have Clay Matthews at one point.
But all I mean is you look forward to the next games. By the way, Paul Perkins, just on the subject of Clay Matthews. Pick up the ball, Paul. Yeah. Pick up the ball. Pick it up.
They do it when it doesn't make a difference all the time.
Where'd you go? USC? Pick up the ball, man.
Yes, we teach guys to pick up the ball. Clay Matthews.
It was not a UCLA play there by Paul Perkins. I don't know, man. And then obviously Pittsburgh and Kansas City. A lot of talk in this office about how Kansas City's a Super Bowl contender. I think Pittsburgh's going to win that game, but I am super intrigued to see that game. So there's 3 interesting games, and then the Patriots have an intra-squad scrimmage.
Well, the thing is, the Patriots have outscored the Texans roughly 150 to, I think, 41 over their last 4 contests in Foxborough. One of those games was 27-0 without Tom Brady. So it's going to be a bloodbath.
Can't see that. I was wrong. I thought that line would be 13.5. I had friends there in Vegas. I was with
16,
Jenkins and
right?
others. They said 16.5.
Sounds about right. I'd take that line if Tom Brady wasn't starting. I'd take that line with Jimmy Garoppolo or what's it, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
It's the playoffs. You never know, except
except when they're in Foxborough.
Except this, you know.
As much as we keep talking, see, I'm that one
You're
guy,
gonna take the Texans.
I'm wrong a good percentage of the time, as is anyone else, and I don't even gamble. But that may end up being the game. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, yes. I'm just saying. I was talking. Hold on. I was talking about winning. Look, I went 0-4, and I am on a 4-week spiral that is unparalleled. So, but gambling, I got it. If you wanted to take the Texans because it's a great defense and you're like, it's a playoff game, they just 16 points.
10 points, yeah.
I got it. That is too many points to bet the Patriots to me, right? I don't know. I'm not going to bet the Texans. I'll find something else to bet. But of course, you're right. They might cover the game. It is really hard to imagine because I bet the Raiders, despite not knowing anything about Connor Cook, because I thought we've seen rookie quarterbacks step up and be functional, and the level you have to get at to be as good as Brock Osweiler, that's a pretty low bar. So as it turned out, he's worse than Brock Osweiler, and it was horrible.
Well, I mean, it's the thing. Brock Osweiler was benched at one point during the season, but look, this is now.
So I just meant with the Texans. I bet against the Texans because I couldn't give 4 points. Brock Osweiler in an NFL game does not deserve to be a 4-point favorite. It turned out that was the one game he did.
Now, this is the second round of the NFL playoffs, you guys, and you never know. Brock Osweiler, from bench to back being a starter, he's back. Brock Osweiler is back. He's going to come in and look, he's 6'10", 12, 6'13", and dude is going to throw 4 touchdowns, 289 yards passing.
Yeah, they're going to Brock and Broll.
Mark my words.
Precisely.
Play this back if I'm wrong.
Oh, God. 2 other things that are worth of note. For one, a lot of reaction to Bud Dupree's hit on Matt Moore during the Steelers Dolphins game, and 2, the Giants, the media, and the distraction that Odell Beckham Jr. punching a hole in the wall. I don't understand why that's even a story. He punched a hole in the wall. Do you discipline him by fining him?
Oh, I hope discipline. Is he okay? Is his hand okay?
That's the question,
no,
right?
but if you want, you fine him. Be like, don't vandalize other
look,
teams' fires. But
I understand why it's a story. It's an interesting story of a player getting really emotional and doing damage to property at the end of a game. I'm not blaming him. I understand it. I mean, I'm sure they have a system in place for him to pay
I'm not going to defend Odell Beckham Jr. in the sense that the boat distraction, but that happened from Monday. My problem with it is if they knew, which it's pretty self-aware and obvious that Odell Beckham Jr. knew that this was going to cause a distraction because it's going to give the media something to latch onto. It's the New York media market. They're going to latch onto it, win or lose. That was going to play a major role. And if he knew that was the case and the Giants receivers knew it was going to be the case, then why would you do it?
Well, here's the thing. Look, we're doing the thing that I hate. I understand why we're doing it, but like, no one in general, the American media, politics, sports, pop culture, every fiber of our being tells us that it's the wrong thing to say. I don't know, who cares, right? But a lot of life is who cares. You say it all the time in life. You say it to your partner. You say it to your kids. Hey, it's not that big a deal. Why? Don't worry about it. Who cares? No big deal. Don't worry, right? But we're frustrated by it, so we're told it's a story. I will tell you, who cares where they went on their day off? Who cares? Now, should he have known that it would be a story? I guess, but here's how you'd handle that. You'd catch 6 balls for 106 yards and a touchdown. As it happens, he had a bad game.
He dropped 4 of his 7.
He had a terrible, terrible, terrible game. And so, yeah, they're going to go back and blame the media, blame the boat. But we don't have to. Of course, it had nothing to do with a boat on Monday doesn't impact this on Sunday. It can't.
Because also, you know what ended up happening? Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were calling that game.
Kept.
And then it's okay if they talk about it because Odell Beckham's not hearing it, neither the rest of the receivers. So it's not like they're watching and going, oh my God, they're talking about us and it's a distraction. Currently, it's not. It's just for the fans then to watch. But there was points when it crosses over, and I agree with you completely, like, who cares? When it crosses over into now misrepresenting what's happening, there was a ball that was overthrown. Odell Beckham went up, got like 3 fingers on it, and it flew off his hands. It's 10 degrees, and I'm sure there's some pop on the ball. Eli Manning is not a slouch. So he dropped. They said, and another drop from Odell Beckham.
Aikman said he needed to take another step before jumping. And I like Troy Aikman. I think he's really. But I'm with you. I was like, I think that ball's overthrown. I just, and it would have. I mean, he had a 12% chance of catching it, and he didn't. Yep. But I don't think you can say
ridiculous.
Right, I don't think you could say what was wrong to say is you're an NFL receiver, you got to catch it. That was hard.
And then the thing is, they directly connected it to the boat. I was like, that's not why that pass was not caught. Yes, he dropped 3 others that he shouldn't have. I think they said it was
a terrible
3
game.
drops.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
had
did.
a terrible game.
This is what else. I follow several pro athletes on Instagrams and all those things, right? I've seen the Clippers' entire team on a plane. Of course, they have private jets to their whatever destination they're traveling to. And they were having fun. They're messing with whoever else. And they said, got them, all the stuff that sports guys do, and it's fun. And sometimes I like peeking in on those and going, that's awesome. That's one of the reasons I want to be a pro athlete, because there's just a fun atmosphere around your teammates no matter what you're doing, no matter what the situation is. And you know what I saw on all the seats? Miller Lights. Oh, my God, they were drinking. They probably had a game the next day. Oh, if they lost that game, we can blame it on those Miller Lights and those damn Instagrams. You can have a problem anytime for anything these guys do.
If before that game in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, they'd gone, I don't even know if there is one, they'd gone to a casino.
In Milwaukee.
A Native American casino, right? They go to a casino somewhere and they stay out till 4, right? And they get, okay, you get to get on them for that, right? The day before a game, maybe even 2 days before a game, especially a playoff game, you take care of your body, you rest up. Your day off on Monday, I don't care if you get on a plane and get on a boat, or what if would it have been okay to go out for a late dinner with friends in New York? Like, I mean, what's okay, man?
This is
dumb. And then they threw Justin Bieber in there, too. I mean, it was things that had nothing to do with it.
This is my point here, right? So you mentioned, Ben, in the beginning of this that, who cares, right?
Right, who cares?
Let it end.
Right.
Who cares? And instead...
But we're defending it. We're saying it don't matter. You started it. I'm saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't
be better than me.
End
it.
We talk about low bars.
End it.
Once it's already there, I mean, you have to address it once it's already there, because it became the biggest story of the entire game, and it's frustrating. I hate seeing it, and I've always said this too, and Ben, I think you've disagreed with me before. The buildup of it, you said you should know better because of what the media is going to do.
Right.
I mean, fuck those guys, man. They shouldn't do it. These guys who say this and then act like it's a real reason for these problems, they have to understand sports better than that. They've been around it. And again, this is the part I think we've disagreed. A lot of these sports guys who have influence and control, they like to have that kind of control over pro athletes because they're a little fucking jealous. They wish they were there. When they were 10 years old, they're like, I want to be a pro athlete, and they never made it. They're only 5'7", and they never got past 165.
5'9", 170, just saying.
Until they got older, and then they got fat. So, I mean, it's
not fat.
There's an element of it where it's just jealousy. And it's angry because then you have the prima donna type wide receivers who go, oh, you guys do this, and that. And they look,
but JR, here's why I disagree. I don't think you're totally wrong. I'm sure there are some people like that. I think there's a mentality, like, look, man, if you're a sports writer and there's a position of power, it's nice. So you use that power. I don't know that it's jealousy.
With disdain, it's crazy.
Sometimes, yeah. But I mean, we care so much about this. We fuel all that. We want it. We come on here. We offer our opinions. Their opinions are dumb sometimes. Some are not. I don't know. I don't think it's, look, there are too many opinions in television about politics and in media in general, and there are too many about sports. They're not all valid. They just aren't. And we love outrage. Right. And so we like getting outraged at things. The problem is there are some things to get outraged about, and there's some things to get disappointed in. I suppose what Odell Beckham should know is that for largely my own doing, and because I'm I've become a compelling figure in sports. People are going to pay attention to what I do. So I have to be able to handle that. So he has to be able to handle it. The best way for him to handle it, 8 for 140 and a couple of touchdowns, right? There's no better. That's the ultimate way to handle it.
What I would have really liked to see is just do exactly what Antonio Brown did. You get compared to Antonio Brown all season long as being the 2 best receivers in football. Julio Jones up there as well. Antonio Brown had no trouble.
Yeah, I got you. I mean,
That's your point, and it's a good point. It's a valid point. No,
I bet Antonio Brown's been on a boat.
Right. And also, by the way, I'm sure if you put Odell Beckham on those same routes against that same Dolphins defense in that weather, he would have made the same plays Antonio Brown made.
Probably. The only thing is, like, on Odell Beckham Jr. having a bad day, it's the 31st ranked pass defense, and it wasn't like he wasn't
they were banged
open.
up.
Some of it, I agree with you a lot on
he had
the
two horrific drops. He had two
absolutely.
And that's, by the way, that's not the first time Odell Beckham Jr. has had bad drops in his career. I mean, earlier this season, he's dropped balls and open, but he somehow managed to salvage his game, specifically the Dallas Cowboys, the second time around.
We can talk about Odell Beckham and the drops. We should divorce ourselves as a society from caring about what he does on his day off, unless he's hurting somebody, right?
Yep.
All right.
Fair enough. Comment below, like, favorite, subscribe. We'll be back next week with some more NFL playoff
We'll
reaction.
be back. Tom Brady is back.